In this video, I will explain what the principle of least privilege means and why it matters in Microsoft Entra ID and how we can implement it effectively using the built-in tools. So in this video, I'm going to cover this RBAC role-based access control. The access rights to determine based on the specific role or job functions. So basically, the lot of organization gives the default like a global administrator roles to all their IT employees, IT technicians, because it gives flexibility to do all the changes, and you have a full access to the security, compliance, Exchange, SharePoint. You can do everything, and accidentally also you can delete everything. So it's a very critical role, and most of the small business companies follow this practice that just give the global administrator, because having a dedicated role like Microsoft Intune administrator or the security administrator or the Exchange or Teams administrator gives the least privilege, and that role only specifically to the that scope. So you cannot make or see anything apart from that role that you have. So it's become a little bit difficult to manage everything. But the other side is, when you have a global administrator role to all your IT employees, then what there is no control how they are using, and when they are using for a small changes like for a password reset, you don't need a global administrator role. You can just have a user administrator role or the help desk administrator role that can sufficient to make a small changes, or you are doing any changes in the Microsoft Teams. So Teams administrator role is enough to make that changes. But there is a problem with the small business that you do not have those many expertise or these many peoples who can dedicatedly assign to like a Teams administrator, the Exchange administrator, or the SharePoint administrator. In that case, everyone prefer to have a global administrator instead of having or getting the dedicated role. So what in that case, how we are going to do that? See, there is a Microsoft, if you have a Exchange Entra ID P2 license, then you can use the PIM in like a just-in-time access. That feature you can use and elevate your role when it requires and for a specific time period. That PIM, how to set up a PIM and how to use that, I will cover in the next video. But in this video, I'm just giving you the idea how you can check and how many rules are assigned in your organization, how many roles are assigned in your organization, and which are the users are using that role, that you can check. First of all, I'll just show you how you can see, there is a dedicated administrator roles are available here, and then underneath you will see like more than the 60 roles Microsoft provides dedicated administrator roles. You can use those roles to assign to the user. But see, these are the main rules that you can assign to the user. If you have any who handles the SharePoint, you can just assign the SharePoint administrator roles. If any user has a user administrator roles and the help desk administrator, if you have a help desk, then you can assign this, and whatever it is, if they are not able to perform any activity, then that ticket, for example, need to assign to the higher level 2 technician or level 3 technician who has a bigger privilege, in that case. But it's not necessarily you need to have everything and you need to able to do everything with your privilege, or for that, instead of escalating or getting the global administrator, this is the principle you need to follow, the least privilege. And so see, this is you no need to have multiple roles here. So see, now if you want to audit how many global administrator roles you have in your organization, so basically you can simply you can go here and just check this, okay, I got a 2 global administrator. Okay, that's it. Then the standard, you can guest, help desk, and only the user admins. No. So what about other roles like SharePoint administrator or the Teams administrator, or there are so many 60 administrator roles are there. So how you are going to find which user has which role? Like it's you cannot just go every user and check which user has which role, right? So what is the best practice, like how you're going to find which user has that role, right? So from this portal you cannot see, but I'll give you the idea. That is, you need to go to the basically in a security.microsoft.com, and under this there is under the system, if you go here a system, and there is a permission section. Under this permission section, then here is a role under the Microsoft Entra ID, and there you will see how many roles you got, like how many users are getting this role. Like if I click here, you will see like I have a 2 global administrator, then the global reader is 1, and if you have other roles also, that role also get listed here. These things doesn't update in real time, so it takes 24 hours. So if you have any roles just assigned, it might not see here right away in real time. So you just need to wait for at least 24 hours, and then just come back and see how many roles, how many users are using which role. So from this portal you can see which users getting or having that role here. Then you can make a decision like why this role is there, and this is the kind of a review you can do and make a decision. But another question is, what if the small business got only the 2-3 users and 1 user, for example IT user, and he cannot, if you don't have a global administrator, then how he's going to do all this stuff, right? So there is a PIM thing, like a privileged access management, that comes under the Intra ID, ID governance, and privileged identity management. So from here we need to set up a privileged identity like PIM thing, and give access, like a just-in-time access. So whichever the user need a global administrator, he can elevate his privilege to the global administrator or the exchange administrator or the compliance administrator, and then he can use that privilege to make changes or do whatever he wants with that access, and then automatically that privilege gets expired, like it will take down, and that user become a normal user after a certain time. So that you can set, but again this is a premium feature of Microsoft Entra ID. You need a Microsoft Entra ID P2 license for this. I will cover this in the next video, how you can set this up and how you can use this in a real-time scenario. So I will explain this in the next video. So for this, just audit your company, see how many users got which roles, and make sure you do not exceed more than 2 or 3 global administrators in your organization. And I will tell you the best practice for a global administrator to maintain that account, how you can use that account, what is the best practice for a global administrator, how you can secure your global administrator accounts. That best practice I will tell. If you like this video, please thumbs up and drop the comment if you find something new. Thanks.